That one.
That's the button.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm holding on to my microphone like it's going to get away. What's going on there, buddy?
That is weird. Why are you doing that?
I think because I was going to adjust it, and then you clicked the button, and I was like, it's
You
close
said
enough.
Click the button.
I did. How's everybody doing? It is Thursday night. We are back for our live stream. I was doing a podcast on Tuesday, and somebody's like, where's Leslie? And I'm like,
Wrong day.
Wrong day. Yeah, she'll be back Thursday, just like normal. As always, for those of you that are new to the channel, this is ad-free live stream. So you can support it's sponsored by you and by us, because for two reasons. I'll tell you why. One is because you can use super chats. You can use the links below to support the companies that support Dylan Talks Tone. You can buy parts like the custom drops that come out every Saturday at 9 a.m. And let me tell you, there is some freaking amazing stuff coming out this weekend. Loaded pick guards for Strats, custom made by me. They are amazing. Not just the pickups, the whole thing. Really cool colors, really cool stuff. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see them. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, sponsored by you all and Dylan Talks Tone. So there you go. Tonight we're going to talk about, super chat.
It's actually Van Chang Guitars celebrating 45 months of membership, and he says ad free.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, so patreon.com/Dylan Talks Tone, or you can join the little join button down there.
Or we could just keep interrupting you.
We could.
Dastardly Dave sent us a super chat. Thanks, Dave. He said ad free is for me. Do they have to rhyme? That'd be kind of fun. Super chat from Charles Wallace. Thank you, Charles. He's just sent it. Probably for the same reason.
Thanks, Charles.
Ad-free. I'm just going to call it.
Dave made him do it. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all's support of the channel. That's really cool. Tonight we're going to talk about a subject that might be sore for some, depending on your perspective. That's the word I was looking for. Perspective.
Good job.
And the whole thing is this. I believe that if you buy good gear, it will make you a better guitar player. I know people say that it's not true, but I'm going to give you some good reasons why I think so. So to kick off the conversation, in the comments section side, what I would like to do is get your thoughts on, let's say you've been playing guitar for a while. Maybe you've been playing guitar for a month, or maybe you've been playing guitar all your life. What things, when you either get a new guitar or get new strings or maybe get a new pick or hear some new music or whatever, but gear-wise especially, maybe a new profile for your profiler, maybe a new pedal, maybe a new cable. What are some things that have really inspired you to play gear-wise? When you got a new guitar, is there one that's like, all of a sudden I wanted to play again and I was going to quit and now I'm not, right? Like, think about that for a second and we'll talk about it. Because I think that's why having good stuff is important. I know you can't buy talent, but you can make skill much easier to obtain. Right? I was actually thinking about this morning while I was dry fire practicing. And I grabbed one off the wall over there. And then I grabbed another one off the wall over there. And I was like, trigger can completely, it doesn't matter your skill level, can completely change it. And the same thing with a guitar. If the guitar plays well, if the setup is good, if the sound is good, it's awesome. Not only that, if it's cool, you want to play it. So buy stuff that's cool because it's cool, and then you'll be like, oh, this is cool, and I want to do it some more. So how does it make you feel? Like, how does the the pride of ownership of the thing. How does it make you feel? And you want to play it and you want to use it. I have stuff that I'm just so proud to own that I just want to continue to use them more and more and more and more. My Texas Toast guitars are like that. I mean, I've got certain pocket knives like that I just love them so much because they're so cool. How easy is it? Does it hurt your fingers? Is it a fight every time you play it? Are you fighting with something? The next thing you know, you buy a better piece of gear quality-wise, and you don't have to fight it anymore. And all of a sudden, the experience becomes much more enjoyable. Here's a question. How accessible is the tone that you're trying to get? Here's where you can buy some talent. You know, you put some delay on something, you put a little drive on it, and all of a sudden you sound like $1 million. So I was thinking about this morning when I was playing the Positive Grid Spark 2 before I put it in the box and shipped it on. And I was like, I can flip over to this profile and it makes me sound like $1 million, and it's easy. All I got to do is click over and I feel amazing when I play it. That's the gear. That's not me. I didn't get any better in the last 5 minutes. It just inspired me to play more. And that's the other thing. Because if you're fighting to get the sound you want, and people will say, well, the tone's in the hands. Okay, I get that. However, I understand where that comes from. Usually it comes from cheap people who don't want cool stuff. But the thing is that if you're fiddling around all the time and you can never really get what you want, but then you can just buy this thing and it just does it, and then all of a sudden you're inspired to play, that's what it's there for. That's what the thing exists for, right? Like one of my pistols with a good trigger in it exists so that I can pick it up and go, oh, dang, this makes this way easier. This is super cool. Same thing with a pedal. Same thing with a profile in an amp, like whatever. So I think better gear does make you better because it gives you more of an opportunity to concentrate on the right things. You don't fight as much and you play better because you're just having more fun. That's my take on it, and I want to know what they're saying.
Sure. So Joshua Taft actually left a comment before we got started saying he hoped he could catch this, but he said, I know you'll probably say no, but from a guy that can't afford good gear, I do know a tone or ease of play can inspire, and different guitars brings different things out of me.
So exactly. And you get the spirit of what I'm saying. Now,
didn't hear you say it yet, though.
Now, the thing about this is, even the spirit of the thumbnail, and like he didn't come in here all angry. Like he gets what he's picking up what I'm putting down, you know. But here's the thing. Even if you quote unquote can't afford, right? You can always do little things, whether that's understanding your gear, which I know is not buying new gear, but a lot of times we have gear that's better than us, right? Like I have guitars that are better than me. I have amps that are better than me. Right? So we can still exploit that to get where we want to go. The other thing is it doesn't take a lot of money to make marked improvements in our playing. So setup, new strings, new picks, experimenting with a lot of different things. Strap length. Maybe I want to get a new strap because it makes me hold the guitar different and now I'm more comfortable. So I'm not just talking about going and buying a $5,000 guitar here, but we're looking at our equipment going, if we can make these little improvements, incremental changes, it gets us better. And so even if you don't have a lot of money, look at that and zoom out and see what you can do. Because I know people are going to be concerned about money talking about this, so I want to say that. Okay, keep going.
Mrs. Spider-Man 519 said 100% true. 3J Music, good gear inspires. Good gear doesn't necessarily mean expensive. Van Chen Guitar says good strings and a good setup.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Healy said, I think the cool factor of the good gear makes you play and practice more.
I agree.
Justin Haskell says, I love getting new dirt pedals. Octave fuzz makes me want to play and play.
Yep.
Kenneth Crickmore said, when your gear works well, making you comfortable and relax and play better.
Yeah.
Charles Wallace said, good gear always made me play better when I was learning. Dad's SG and Gibson amp was way better to play than my Kingston. Robbie F said, I agree with Vinny. Good gear doesn't have to be expensive, and expensive gear isn't necessarily good.
That could be argued, but okay.
Tony Leonardi said, for me, it was your channel and getting to know you a couple years ago and building up a few guitars. It totally juiced me. Thank you.
That is amazing. I love it. He's got one of my guitars too.
Jose Daniel Zamora P said, I remember when I wanted to learn drums. A friend sold me his Pearl kit with some really nice cymbals. It was great, and I just never lusted for other drums, just played mine.
So there's something to that. I agree. Because as you have followed this channel, you'll notice that my guitar choices have gotten more expensive, right? Like now I have a real Les Paul. I have a couple of custom made guitars. I have some really nice stuff. And I don't say that in a way to flex, because it's taken me my entire life to save up and to get into a position where I can have this stuff. Like it's, but I will say that I have not wanted a new guitar in a while. Like I always talk about this, a $3,200, that guitar was $3,200, that Les Paul. But when you amortize that out over your entire life, because there's nothing better than that when it comes to, right? Like it's the thing. So now I don't need to go buy a better thing of the thing because it's the thing already. So now I will have that guitar for the rest of my life, foreseeably. If you kind of spread that expense out over the rest of your life, it makes a lot of sense. Especially when it's stuff that you really, really like. My D28, same thing. My Texas Toast guitars, same thing. I've been wanting a Texas Toast guitar for like 5 years. Finally got around to having one, and I've got the stuff that I want. Like my collection is like where I want it, and I find that I don't lust after a bunch of weird stuff all the time. It's even true in pocket knives and stuff. Like now that I've got a couple of the key ones that I've always wanted, I'm not buying a knife every week anymore. Like, so it's kind of a neat thing to think about that. If you can allow yourself the time and the patience to save up for the thing that you really, really want, you'll be inspired, and you'll actually maybe not save yourself in the short term, but probably save yourself in the long term.
James O'Gara said, getting picks that really matched my playing style greatly improved my playing.
Isn't that yeah.
3J Music said, +1 for a Texas Toast guitar. Outstanding.
You got to get one. If you don't have one, y'all, get one.
Jim Woodard said, that's absolutely correct, Dylan. When I pick up the guitar that inspires me in the moment, I feel like I'm playing better, even if I'm doing the same thing. Same with my amplifier.
Let me tell you what happened this morning. I was playing around with that positive grid thing, right? Finishing up that video. And I played some of my guitars. They're fine. They're great. I was having fun, really enjoying them. Picked up my Les Paul. Didn't even use it in the video. Ended up not using it in the video. Played it for like a half an hour. Like got distracted. Oh crap, I have work to do. Like, because I was just like, you get caught up in the moment, and next thing you know, you're playing more. And I was literally like, ooh, this is a sound that like I love. And you just discovered a feeling, and you just ran with it. Or I did, I just ran with it.
Point Nemo says, yes, tone is in the hands, but it gets better with better gear.
It does.
Vinny's World said, for me, new colors and graphics inspire me to play.
So the reason he's saying that is because he messaged me on Instagram this morning, probably in the middle of the night as he's going to bed, because he's on the other side of the world, and he's like, what colors of acrylic can you get? Because I've got some ideas. And he sent me a bunch of ideas. I'm not going to show you right now because we're going to try some fun stuff here in the future. But yeah, and he's constantly, every time we come out with, some of these crazy colors and stuff, he's like wanting to get them. And That's cool. That color, the color of guitar inspires you. I like that.
Jay Valente says, did not play until May of this year when I went to TTG to build my first guitar. My thought was paying a bit more for and building myself my first guitar would motivate me to play. Worked so far.
The connection that you got from that, right? And the connection to the community and the connection to all of this. Like, that's cool, man.
Hat Mike says, better than me. I know what you're getting at, but that's kind of nonsense. Your gear is your gear.
Yes, you're right. Better than me is probably the wrong word. I just know that there's more potential in, for me, like when I go to the range, for example, I just know that this is way more accurate than I'm possible. It's possible for me to be as an imperfect person. So therefore it drives me to find its potential, right? Like if I know I've got one up there that's like 1 inch at 25 yards for an entire magazine, it's capable of doing that apparently. And I've seen it. I can't do that. So it pushes me, right, to catch up to what the capability of that thing is. So therefore, same thing with the guitar. Obviously, I have a Slash Les Paul over there. I'm not as good as Slash, but when I sit down, I don't want to sound like Slash, but I do know that it's in there. It's just up to me to get it out. And so I want to try that.
Well, and even from a technology standpoint, I was thinking computers, but since we're talking music, I don't know anything about this, but we're only using 3 of all of these channels and I push 1 button, but this thing can do a lot of things that we don't use it for.
Yeah.
So it's not a limitation of this piece of equipment.
Right.
So it can be better than us. And somebody else could use it better than us.
Right.
If we invited, I don't know,
some professional podcaster, even with what we're doing, they would tell us, oh, if you tweak this knob a little bit better, it would sound 14% better than it does. Like, and we don't know that. We're just using the most basic thing. No, I don't. That's what I think about too. Yeah. With all of this stuff. And it used to be, I went through this whole, I think when we lived in the motorhome, I went through this whole thing where it was like, it's trying to minimize down to the littlest bit, right? Because you have to kind of. And I don't know if the motorhome had anything to do with it, but I've been thinking about it lately. Like, I think it's because I've been playing that Les Paul a lot, and I've been playing my Texas Toast guitar a lot, and I've been shooting a Nighthawk 1911 a lot, and I'm like, you can't buy the talent, but if the tool is so good, because a lot of people will say, like, I'm not good enough to own this expensive guitar. Or people will get on the internet and bag on others and be like, you suck at playing guitar. You don't deserve that guitar, or you shouldn't buy that guitar, or whatever. And I 100% disagree, because it's first of all, what I spend my money on is none of your business. And what you spend your money on is none of my business. So I don't care. Like, I'm not going to bag on you for spending money on a guitar or not. It doesn't matter. But what I am saying is, if it makes you feel better, you will play better. What's that thing from, well, this is Saturday Night Live, probably before you were born, but it's better to look marvelous than it is to feel marvelous.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Because when you look marvelous, you feel marvelous.
Is that true?
I mean, I do.
All right. Just a few more. Let's see. Matthew Altamere says, do you think that wears off after a while? There's definitely a honeymoon period of new gear. If you play something all day, every day, it gets a little played out.
It depends. It depends on the gear. And this is where I think if you don't cheap out, you don't get tired of it. And if it, let's say too, has a lot to do with your frame of mind as a human being, because contentment is a thing, right? Like,
contentment is a struggle.
Contentment is a struggle. It's not necessarily a thing, but
it exists, I think. I haven't found it yet.
Yeah. But I guess what I'm getting at is, if I buy a Breed Love, does the new wear off because I know that there's a D28 out there? But when I buy a D28, now I have the D28. There's nothing I don't want. That's it. I'm there. I have it. And and the same thing with the Les Paul. Like, if I had an Epiphone Les Paul, would the new wear off because you know that exists? But now that I have that, I don't. That's it. I have it, and it's awesome. So the new does not wear off for me. And I also have a frame of mind of knowing, like we were talking about a minute ago, that the potential is in there. I just have to figure it now. Help me get this out of there. Like, that's what I'm going to spend my time on. But the gear matters, man. It does. And that's pickups. Like, I think about that with pickups all the time. If I pick up a guitar, and the pickups suck, I put it right back down. I'm like, I can't do this. I just can't do it.
Robbie F said, the sound from my 2 amps and 2 cabs gives me goosebumps every time I play that first G chord. Low volume is good, but louder is more good.
Yep.
Papa Squat says, if my guitar isn't glossy and black, then I'm not inspired.
There you go.
Jay Valente, the one that said he went to Texas Toast the first time. Yep, I'm totally freaking hooked now. Going back August of next year and ordered a Challenger Level 4 build.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Wonder what pickups we're putting in that.
Kyle Ketchamonia says, hey, I have an Eastwood Stormbird. I'm getting Dylan pickups. It's official.
Excellent.
Curtis Chavez says, no one has won a Formula One race in a street car.
That's right.
Robbie F says, I'm very content with my current guitars. It's better amps that I aspire to right now. In a couple years, I will probably be back to considering guitar upgrades.
No, that's awesome. Well, we probably should try to go through some of these Patreon questions at 8:20.
Probably.
Let's do it. Thanks, everybody. That was a great conversation, and I'm glad that you all agree with it. I'm just kidding. I'm glad that we were able to talk about it. And for people that feel differently about it, maybe it'll just give you something to think about in a more positive light. I think it's cool.
Zoltan. I haven't seen his name in a while. Busy with a new job.
Yep.
Zoltan says, hey, Dylan and Leslie, do you think Yamaha's upcycled wood idea of building guitars from other instrument wood scraps and offcuts will fly?
I think that if they market it correctly, it will totally fly. Most of those reclaimed and that kind of stuff projects do really well. If it's marketed correctly. Taylor's done a very good job of it. For example, and Fender's done a good job of it with a couple of things that they've done. So I think it will, and Yamaha is the biggest music company in the world. So I'm sure they've got people to sort it out, but yeah, I think it'd be cool. I'd love to have a guitar that was made out of leftover piano parts or something. That'd be neat. Or drum parts or whatever.
Rob says, hello, Leslie and Dylan. What do you think of the new Gibson Victory model guitars? I think it's great Gibson has something new outside of their traditional line. The Iguana Burst Victory is especially cool.
I briefly saw them in the last couple of days. I have purposely not looked at them a lot because we will probably talk about them Sunday, and I like to kind of give fresh, hot takes on that stuff as I see it. But my first kind of impression was like, ooh, hey, this looks interesting. So I'm excited to look into it some more.
Charles, good evening, Leslie and Dylan. Thank you for sharing your evening with us.
Thank you for sharing your evening with us.
Robert, hello, Leslie and Dylan. I'll catch up tomorrow, but I wanted you to know that I left my TTG and DTT P90s with a luthier friend of mine for a few days. He is an unabashed Gibson P90 guy. He was really impressed and asked me to let him gig it this weekend in place of his gold top Gibson. Just saying. Thank you for making such a great product for us.
Wow, that's really neat, man. That, I tell you, we've talked about this before. When guitar techs and other third-party folks play my stuff and, having never heard of it or anything, it's really cool. So thank you for facilitating that. That's really neat.
Apparently you're very punny tonight. Van Shank Guitar says those Yamaha guitars will resonate with some people.
Oh my gosh.
Funny. All right. Well, that was
all the Patreon questions.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if you have any guitar questions, get in the chat over there. She probably has some already.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep rolling.
Put question marks. I can't find everything.
Yeah, put question marks in front of it. Otherwise, she'll miss it.
All right.
Or use a super chat.
Vinny's World says on the bagging on point. Oh man, the comment section of the Billy Joe Armstrong video where he went to the Gibson garage to buy a new guitar is insane.
It's stupid. I don't understand it. I don't understand. It's jealousy. It's jealousy. That's what it is.
Jose Daniel Zamora P said, I love the Jason Isbell quote on that maybe the guitarist in me can't afford it, but the Grammy-winning producer me can, and gifts it to him. That's pretty funny.
That's pretty good.
Couple comments from Kenneth Crickmore. I don't really understand the relevance, but he did all the question marks, so he really wants us to read it.
Okay.
Because this one makes me laugh. I once hit a jackrabbit at a dead run as it cleared a 6-foot fence with a 357 by reflex without sighting in, just point and shoot, all in one motion. Happened so fast.
That's pretty funny.
And the other one
says,
I still have that Telly Bridge pickup you gave me. Classic version Esquire gets the nod.
That's pretty cool, man.
The other one is off topic. So
cool.
Scrolling back down. General Admission said, if someone disagrees with you, they aren't being negative. They're just trying to share their perspective.
No, I love it. Yeah, no, that's great. I absolutely love it. And you don't ever learn anything if you don't, you know what I mean? Like it's great to learn from people.
Mm-hmm. So what else is going on? Oh, Curtis Chavez says the grass is greener syndrome.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but also, I also think the thing that would fix this for a lot of people is patience. I think instead of buying 17 Harley Bentons, just buy a Les Paul. And if it takes you a while to save up for it, then save up for it. And I'll tell you what, if you save up for it, you're just going to like it more. Like when you finally get it.
Do you hear yourself right now?
Yeah.
Do you hear yourself right now?
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
asking.
I'm not saying I do it, but I'm saying it would be good if people did.
It would. It would be good.
I don't owe any money on any guitars.
I'm not talking about guitars. Jose Daniel Zamora P said, have you ever talked to Chris Buck? His Revstar could definitely use your pickups, probably, and his playing is just on another level.
I have not, and I would love to. Hey, buddy.
Jacob Barrel, I might be saying that wrong. Jacob says, gear that allows you to forget about the gear is the best gear.
That's really it, right? Yep.
Hat Mike says, the man with the slash Les Paul says all we need is just a little patience.
Yep.
That was good, Mike.
That was good, Mike. People are strong with the pun energy tonight.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Joe Healy says, any recommendations for a good set of locking tuners for a Squire Affinity? I have a tuner that comment cut off. I don't know.
So it depends on which ones you have. So a Squire Affinity might have the 2-pin ones, and that you're just going to have to Google because there's not that many 2-pin ones. Man, it's been a long time since, but it might not be 2-pin. If it's just a normal 10 millimeter, I like Clusen stuff because that's what Fender used, before. I also like, for locking stuff. Yeah. Clusen is cool. And they're not expensive in comparison. Obviously Hipshot is the bomb, but they're probably cost, as much as your guitar. So, maybe the Clusen stuff.
What is that noise? Did I push the button? I don't even know. Did it work?
You know what the noise is?
What?
The candle.
It's very annoying. Super chat from Mr. Goat. I apologize for being distracted. Thank you for the super chat, Mr. Goat. He says, give me patience, oh Lord. It actually says, ow Lord, but I hope he meant, oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something.
I have extinguished my
he
flame.
meant to say now.
Oh.
Now, Lord. That makes more sense. Hat Mike said he's got dad joke energy 24/7.
I love it.
Curtis Chavez says, I keep trying to settle for a Challenger level 1, but I just can't resonate with the finishes. I almost gave up, but then I started looking at the L2 finishes.
Yeah, I mean, then that opens that up to pretty much anything, right? Yeah. Yeah, my level 2 is amazing. It's such a great guitar. I was playing it yesterday. I was playing it this morning. It's just, and every time I pick it up, so there's something about, and I've said this before, I have had many small builders say, hey, you should try this guitar. And there is something about a guitar that was made by two guys that, and not just the level 2s, the 3s and the 4, I've played all of their stuff. Sometimes you can just tell that it's a maker guitar, right? Like that it's made in somebody's basement or somebody's shop and it's just super handmade feeling. I have fountain pens and I have knives like that where it's like, it just doesn't feel professional enough. Texas Toast guitars are not like that. They feel like they came out of a huge factory, but better. And they're made by two guys. They're so good. They're so good.
Super chat from Sean McMillan. He says, how many guitars does a guitarist need? Just one more.
Well, yeah.
That's what they say.
Yep, that is what they say. Thank you for the super chat, Sean.
Yes, thank you. I don't think I said thank you because I'm distracted by the puns that are still happening over here.
Oh, no.
Anyway, we're just going to go in order and we'll get to it.
Okay.
Sorry that I'm already laughing. Jose Daniel Zamora P said, speaking of Slash, did you see he's stealing your style with caps now instead of the hat? Doesn't have your legs, though.
I mean, duh.
I haven't seen him in a cap. Matthew Altamere said, there's definitely always something to one up. Even Gibson Custom Shop, reissue, etc. I have a Gibson USA Les Paul, but no interest in getting a CS or reissue anytime soon. Not about the money for me.
Yeah, I would get a Gibson Custom Shop if I was in a position to do it. I think I don't have, it's not a priority because I like what I have. And if I was going to spend $6,000 or $7,000 on something, I'd rather buy a pistol. So I don't really, but just love that thing. So I just like it.
IBJI said, I asked my dad to tell me a dad joke. He said, sure, I'm not your dad.
Oh my God.
And so Hat Mike is bragging on himself. Hat Mike, Steve Rezer called him out on his good puns that it couldn't happen again. And he said, at Steve, this can go all night. Next comment, train.
Oh my word.
I love that song, by the way. It's horrible, but I love it.
That is crazy. Y'all are funny.
Let's see. Kenneth Crickmore started with a
Starcaster, probably.
Okay. Ended with a Stellarcaster. Totally out of this world guitar build. Did I go too far?
I mean, if you like it, doesn't matter, right?
IBJI said, have you ever been tempted to buy a Firefly?
No.
I don't know what that is.
It's a $200 guitar. No, I haven't. I just don't have any interest in... I don't have any interest... Okay, I don't have any interest in the guitar itself because I don't think they need to be promoted. I think they shouldn't be promoted. And I think there's too many, like, anybody with more than like 20 subscribers gets an email about those every day. Like, they're just not, they're not where I want to build audience, I guess, either. Like, I just don't feel, they do not inspire me. I don't want to make videos about them.
General Admission says, I want a guitar that he was saying he was on the hunt for the perfect guitar. And then he said, I want a guitar that sounds like a Gibson and plays like a Fender. Closest I've found is Kiesel, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Jose Daniel Zamora P says, what is your take getting mid-tier and upgrade the hell out of it? Like, you might end up knowing it better than any off-the-wall guitar and play it better.
So obviously that's where we make our living, right? Is, let's say you buy a made in Mexico Strat and you put one of our loaded pick guards in it. That's where I make my living. I think that is a fantastic idea. And I think that it's fun to do. But I also think that you should always be looking. Okay. The motivation should never be to save the money. The motivation should be to get the guitar that you want, right? So, like, especially with Fender stuff, that's where modding comes into play a lot because they don't make a Strat. They don't make the perfect Strat, right? Like, this one comes with this bridge and this one comes with these pickups and this one comes with these tuners and this one comes with this neck
and you
profile.
Can't get all the options like a car.
Yeah, and you can't just option it out unless you custom shop it, right? So there's where, like with Fenders especially, there's where I would do that same thing you did is I would say, okay, I'm going to buy a made in Mexico Strat. I'm going to buy a Ventera, for example, and it's got most of the things that I want, but I don't like the pickups and I don't like a couple of things. And then I would start swapping them out and get what I want. And like, it doesn't have locking tuners, but I don't want the modern locking tuners. I want the vintage ones. And so then you start putting it together and you get the guitar you want. If you're doing it because I can't afford X or Y and I just need the cheapest thing, just be careful about that mentality because then you will always be wanting something that you're never going to have. But if you can see an option set that you can put together and build the guitar that you think you want, then I'm totally behind it. 100%. DylanTalksTone.com, link in the description. Buy your pickups. Like, because that's where we make our living. And going back to the Firefly comment, that's where we don't actually make our living with the $200 guitar.
We tried. And
it's a difficult customer. And and it's we make a premium product. You know, our stuff is not, you know, if you have a Firefly guitar or a Harley Benton guitar, chances are that if you go to Guitar Fetish and put a Guitar Fetish pickup in it, it's going to be an improvement, and it's going to be within the budget of said guitar. We make a premium product. Like our pickups are $140. Like our humbuckers are $140. So to put that in a $200 guitar, I'm not saying don't do it. We've done it many, many times. Lots of people have Fireflies and Harley Benton's with our stuff in it. But that's not where we target, because we know that it's a premium product that not everybody is willing to spend the money or willing to appreciate what we do and how we do it. Because what we do and how we do it's very important. And so if the guitar that you're building, you're getting there with all that, then I say 100% do it.
Lots of people are giving General Admission Mini ideas for what guitar he might be looking for.
Oh, really?
That's what's happening in the comments.
Awesome. Honestly, the best Stratocaster I have played in probably 3 or 4 years, besides like some really cool vintage stuff. I mean, I got to play one of Stevie Ray's guitars, and I got to play some custom shop stuff working with John Cruz, and I got to play a 57 that belongs to my friend, and I've got to play some pretty neat Strats. But to me, the best Strat you can buy in the store right now is the Mike McCready. It is so good, man. And I know people don't like Relic stuff. I know whatever. But genuinely, pull it out of the box and play it. It's amazing. Or have me build you one. I'll build you a Strat. Why not? My stuff's amazing. I got one right there. I was playing it this morning, and I love it.
What year was that one built?
2016, 2017, wow. I think.
Wow. Okay.
I think.
I don't remember. Oh, can you tell?
Yeah.
You date them?
2017.
How about that?
Yeah, because that serial number has my grandfather's initials in it. Yeah. I did that when I sold it to him. I put his initials in the serial number, and I put the the year. So 2017. November of 2017 is when I built that.
It's not when he got that. There's no way we drove up in November.
Oh, maybe it was October. So it was that fall. I don't know. I'd have to look at it. Maybe I looked at the date too long, or too quickly.
Too long.
But that guitar, because you remember we cracked the lacquer finish in the kitchen at the old house. Mm-hmm. Yep. Brianna was there. She's like, I remember doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we because we got Office Supply CO2 and held it upside down and cracked the lacquer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Looked like drug addicts.
Yep.
And like a case of
a whole case of it.
Like filled the bottom of the little Office Supply.
Yeah, we went to Staples and got like a whole flat of that.
They definitely card you for that.
They do. And we definitely misused it for other than it was intended, because it's do not use this for hold it upside down. Yep. Warm the guitar all up with a heat gun and then sprayed it. Yep. It worked. Looks awesome. My grandfather, he didn't know about all that stuff, right? So he gets the guitar and he's like, what are all these little cracks in the finish? I was like, that's on purpose. And he's like, oh, okay. And that was it.
What are all these cracks?
Yep. Because he bought it the day I posted it.
Oh, Jim Woodard said the Silver Sky was released in 2018. Some of them may have been built in late 2017. That's not what we're talking about.
No, we're talking about this Strat that I built for my grandfather.
Charles Wallace said the best Strat I have ever played has your name on it. Just saying. Would love you to serial number mine. Maybe one day.
So the reason I didn't is because I built that guitar in Colorado. I actually built that guitar in Colorado. And so we didn't know where that guitar was going to end up.
Yep.
And so it ended up with Charles. And so I would have serialed it if if I had known that it was going to end up with him. Yep. He's got one of my guitars that I built in Colorado. Doug's got one of my guitars that I built in Colorado. And so does Tony Leonardi. Tony Leonardi's got, well, actually, I should take that back. I built that one for him.
Right.
That Sunburst Strat just a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm going to have a telly available probably the end of next week or the week after. It's going to be black.
Curtis Chavez says, seriously, I'm more clumsy when I have a guitar that I'm trying to be careful with. A relic might be just what the doctor ordered.
You know, also, you say that in jest, but there is something about not worrying about it. I have guitars that I really care about that I don't want to have scratched up and stuff. My Silver Sky, like I don't want to scratch my Silver Sky, but I've got a couple of guitars that I just don't care. And I feel like I play them differently.
Charles Wallace says, I understand, but maybe one day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Jose Daniel Zamora P was like, your grandpa was like, I thought it was new. Why is it all cracked up? Joe Healy said, I don't mind putting cash in my Affinity. It's a decent, cheap guitar. I have a walking disability and fall a lot, and 250-ish to replace is easy, and I should be able to swap my upgrades.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
That makes sense. That's not cool. It makes sense.
No. His thought process. I thought his thought process, that's a neat. Here comes Squeaker Dog.
Yeah, he's being mischievous. I don't know why he kept going in your office. So
There might be a ball in there behind something that he thinks he needs. So he gave up and went and got a squeaky toy to make us notice him. Yep.
James Grote says, Dylan, what pickups you make are like CS Fat 64s?
That would be our Highway 99s. Yep. The ones we just came out with recently. Yep. I actually used those in a video that you will see tomorrow. Those are in a video. If you're on Patreon, you can see it now, but tomorrow there's a video coming out that will be, I will use a Strat with those pickups in it.
Sean McMillan said, these comments are kind of rough. Welcome to the jungle.
Oh my God. Where did we go with all the GNR puns? That's really funny. I guess because we keep talking about the / Les Paul. That's probably why.
I like they're using the first album though. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Anyway, it's funny. 3J Music said the best quote Strat I've ever played is my Texas Toast Smokestack Double, followed by my Godin Session. Also had a Kiesel Delos. I regret selling.
I've seen those and I've never gotten to play one before. I tried to get with Kiesel and but they don't, I guess 100,000 is not enough for them. The dog woke up from a nap and he's ready to go.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
Slow night.
That's all right.
I don't know why.
Because everybody's waiting for off-topic hour.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, this question was kind of off topic, so I just kept it. I have a couple.
Okay. There's a couple in Patreon too. Oh, I have something that's on topic, kind of off topic, but we can talk about it.
Can we?
We can.
What it is?
I ordered another laser yesterday. Yes. So I have the CO2 laser that we're using to make all the stuff that you see now.
And say hi.
Come here, buddy. Come on.
Like, I'm not jumping on.
He's like, nope. So I bought a fiber laser. So a fiber laser can do metal, which means that we can do engraved metalwork for guitars, which means we will start to be able to do Telecaster pickup covers. We'll be able to do Telecaster control plates, bridges, knobs, tuner buttons, probably, if I could jig up for it. There's all kinds of stuff that we'll be able to do. So I'm super excited about it. He's like, I'm not jumping up on you. You always tell me not to jump on you.
I know.
So yeah, I'm really excited about it. I got an email this morning and it was like, we just want to make sure that this is not fraud. We're just verifying that this purchase is real. And then because I did not buy it on the partner program.
Right.
So the partner program people emailed me too. And they're like, we noticed that you ordered a laser. Are you still wanting to be on the partner program? And I'm like, heck yeah. I just want the one I want.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a deal on it or anything. They were going to give me a deal on one, but it's not the one I wanted. So I just bought it.
Jose Daniel Zamora P said, by the way, is the Cerakote thing off topic, or can you talk a little about that adventure with the previous store gone?
Oh, absolutely. I can. And I can give you an update on that as well. So, I'm really excited about it because, you got it. It's really cool. There is a firearms, a gunsmith that's about 10 minutes from me, the opposite direction from where the other one was. And I didn't even know they were there. And so the old place referred me to the new place. And so I brought a bunch of pickup covers over there, connected with the old place, and then brought a bunch of pickup covers to the new place. And said, hey, can you do these for me? And they're like, yeah. And they're doing them cheaper, which means that I'm not going to lose my butt on them, because before it was basically like cost me money to do it. I just wanted to do it because I thought they were cool. So that's cool. So we're at least not losing our butts on them now. And so those should be done early next week. So that's cool. Also, we were discussing laser stuff, and I told him that I was about ready to buy a fiber laser. So he says, well, let me know when you get it done, and we can start trading some work out. So if that's possible, then there might be a whole bunch of Cerakote possibilities in the future. And the wait time, he gave me a little bit different wait time kind of scheme too. So we'll have to plan a little further ahead. This batch will be able to get done pretty quick, but sometimes they're 3 or 4 weeks out. So we'll have to kind of plan it a little bit better, but building a relationship with this guy. And so having some Cerakote possibilities is going to be super fun. I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's going to be neat.
Jay Valente said, I know, right? I love getting new tools. Just bought a Grizzly pin router and I'm pumped for it to get here. I don't even have the power run for it yet, but I'm still giddy.
I just bought a table router so that we could put bevels on our pick guards too, because the laser doesn't put a bevel on it, obviously. So, and people were like, are you going to bevel them? And I'm like, no. Yes. But we should, because I want to get, like we talked about, premium products. I want to make sure that they are premium. So I'm like, well, let's just buy a table router and we're going to do it right. So I don't like the bit that I have, so I ordered another one. So they're actually going to be sort of our version of a 45. They're going to have a little quarter round sort of, you'll see. They're going to be classy. They're going to be nice. And they're going to be specific to what we do. I think it's going to be nice.
Eliphas Elric says, better gear will make me play better. Need to explain this to my wife. Mr. Goat asked, closer to T90s?
No, we're not. I don't know if that's ever going to come back. The parts are just unobtainium. I wish we could, because I loved them.
It's something that you can't make, I guess, is what.
I can't make it.
Okay.
No, I can't make it. I've thought about ways of doing it. The only thing that we could do that might get us back to it is if I could 3D print something. And I have a guy, but I just haven't gone down that road because we've been doing all this other stuff. And here's the thing. I know that Sean's like really into those, but they were not profitable for us. We did not sell tons of them, and they were expensive to make. I'll tell you right now that the bobbin for a regular Telecaster pickup, the delta between the two was about, especially now that I'm making my own stuff, the T90 bobbin was 10 times what a Tele bobbin cost. So, and even when I was buying parts,
But you couldn't make those bobbins.
I can't.
What are they?
What it is there's a phenolic tube that's threaded on the inside, and that's what I can't get.
I do remember this.
What happened was, what those tubes are, they're phenolic standoffs for certain types of circuit boards. You know, of course, everything we do is like leftovers from other industries, right? So they don't make this stuff specifically for guitars, right? So the company that made those changed their default diameter by a couple of thousandths, which in the other industries doesn't matter. But now it doesn't fit in a bobbin anymore. And so I can't get them.
So does anybody make a new guitar with, like, what? Is there something new that we don't know about?
I think people have bobbins like injection molded and stuff. And, you know, that's expensive.
To prevent needing that piece?
Correct. Yeah. If you what I would do, what we would basically do is we would 3D print the core of the pickup, and then we would glue or screw the top and bottom onto it. And that would work because you can make a P90 that way too, with like a 3D printed center.
What does the center need to be?
It just needs to be non-conductive. That's the only thing. It just needs to be non-conductive. So it just needs to be, it could be plastic or it could be anything. So I could have Barry do it for me, but I just haven't gotten that far. And the cost of it means I have to look at it, because we're getting some inside baseball here. We're getting $119 or $109 for those pickups. If the bobbin literally costs 5 or 10 times more than the other one, it's not enough. Then you have to see what the market will bear. Are they going to bear? Will the market bear $139 for a single coil pickup? I don't know. So those are all things that you have to look at when you're doing this stuff, because when the parts costs go up 5 or 10 times, like on that pickup, you really have to look at that. Another thing that happened this week is the cost of winding wire went up 20%.
Yeah, that was a shock.
Yeah, 20%. Literally went up. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. It's the first time, but at the same time, what? I thought you were looking at the same time, that's the first time it's gone up in many years. So we're going to have to look at that too. I'm going to try not to raise prices. I'm going to look at everything again and make sure that we're still good. But that's also, I'm just, again, inside baseball, giving you some insight here and trying to be super transparent with everybody. That's why we're looking at some of these other things, pick guards and various things like that, because we're trying to build some value into what we do without raising prices. And it's tough. The guitar business is way off right now. I was talking to some industry folks last week, and everything is way down. So just really, we're fine. We're busy. We're doing stuff. And in fact, last month or the month before, we had one of our best months we've ever had. So we're fine. But I'm just telling you that expenses are definitely going up and the business is definitely going down. So we're having to, again, we don't talk about politics here, but I'm kind of hoping that in the next couple months,
I just read an article today.
people aren't as distracted after the next couple months, like I kind of hope that.
I read an article about how low inflation was right now. And I was
Lord.
like, is it?
No.
And then I bought plane tickets today and I was like,
I did only spend $3.29 for gas today for
premium.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
I don't know what kind of fuel they're putting in planes, but that junk must be expensive.
Yeah. No, you try not to stress about that stuff, and I try not to pass that stress on to the customer. We try to just
even put the thing up.
do what we can, to make sure that people can still afford what we do, and viewership's way down. Viewership on the YouTube channel is down 20%. So yeah, everything's down, but it's okay. I don't care. We're still having fun. Still living what I consider to be my dream. I absolutely love this. So it is off topic hour. It's 9:00 on a Thursday.
Wow.
So what that means is, you can ask any question you want as long as it doesn't have to do with guitars. If you ask a guitar question, it has to be in a super chat after 9:00. We do this to just hang out, get to know you, be friends with you. And you can ask anything you want. We might answer it. Most of the time we do. We have a couple already. One on Patreon, I think, and a couple on Patreon, maybe. And
I just have one.
Okay, good. And then you have a couple over there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, good. Did you miss one, or you couldn't remember?
Couldn't remember.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, let's do it.
So the first off-topic one, Robert, off-topic hour. Awesome knife sharpening video.
Thank you.
On the Work Sharp sharpeners, have you seen the Ken Onion Edition Elite MK2? What do you think compared to Professional Precision Adjust?
Okay. So, for those that don't know, we have another channel, youtube.com/Dylan and Leslie. That's where I put all of my off-topic stuff. Knife stuff. I don't put firearm stuff there, but I put knife stuff, fountain pen stuff, travel, all that kind of stuff's on that channel. So the Work Sharp stuff. I don't. Does he need to go out?
Crying is questionable, but sure.
But he hasn't been out in a long time. I have not gotten one of the Ken Onions because it's an electric belt driven system. And I don't know. I don't know because I don't have a need to remove that much material. I know a lot of people that swear by them, but maybe I should buy one and try it. I have all the other ones, so I guess the Work Sharp Precision Adjust Pro or whatever it's called is amazing. I don't have one. I have the cheaper one, and I'm gonna buy the bigger one because it's really cool. I like fixed angle systems. Also, by the way, I have to say thanks to Tim for buying me a Lansky fixed angle sharpening system and having it sent here from Amazon. That was really cool of you. Thank you. I've been messing with it. I'm going to buy the little stand and bolt it to the bench in the garage and use it out there. I think it's going to be really cool. So yeah, I don't know. The belt systems. So here's the thing about a belt system. The Ken Onion one especially is really neat because it has some like changey outy stuff. So you can do like knife reprofiling. You can actually do bevel grinding and stuff like that. So if you do axes, if you do longer blades like big hunting knives, if you're a knife maker and you want to reprofile stuff, then you have all these attachments and it opens you up to the possibility of doing those things. I don't have a need for those things. All I do, because everything I have is really sharp. So all I literally do is do touch-ups. if I buy a new knife and it's not consistently profiled on both sides, even the highest end brands, a lot of times, sometimes you'll have one side that's 17 degrees and one side that's 20, for example, and you want to fix that so that it's consistent on both sides. But I don't feel that I need a power tool to do that. And I'm not that serious about removing material. So personally, I would go with the Precision Adjust Professional. Let's see. Who makes your favorite motorcycle? That would definitely be Ducati for sure. Dog-sized horse or horse-sized dog? Horse-sized dog for sure. Absolutely. Okay, you can take over back over. I did my best.
You did your best.
I did, but you're way better at it than me. I literally look at that and I'm like,
I don't know what you did. Oh, I heard a motorcycle. I heard a dog size.
Yeah, so dog-sized horse or horse-sized dog?
I mean, both.
Okay.
Really.
Yeah. Oh, that's one of the things we did last week. We went out to my daughter's boss's house. So she manages a restaurant and a bar. She's a bartender, but she manages the whole place. And she, the owner has a little farm with, what are those cows called with all the hair?
Highland.
Yeah, Highland cows. And they have some like pigs and some like little baby mini cows and stuff. It was really fun. Just went out there and met them and saw them and stuff.
Super chat from Vinny's World. Really enjoyed the Round 2 podcast. In your experience, how do you get past that first 4 videos wall and make the 5th plus video?
You just keep going, man. So what he's talking about, and I should plug this. I was on a podcast called the Round 2 podcast, Round Number 2 podcast. I'll share a link on the community page on YouTube. So if you're a subscriber, you'll see it. And I'll also share it maybe on Facebook and stuff. They're based out of Richmond, Virginia. And it was a podcast basically looking at what it took to be an entrepreneur in 2024. And one of the things the reason it's called the Round 2 podcast is they always ask, is there something that you tried and you thought was going to be awesome that failed that you had to get up from and then start over again? And so I had a couple of those things. And so I was able to tell some of those stories. So if you're ever interested in the business side of my brain and and honestly, we spent a lot of time talking about what makes me do what I do here and what motivates me to make a video. So to answer your question, Vinny, when I first started the channel, I think for the first month, first of all, I knew that I wanted to have a bunch of content in order to start like referring people to it. I didn't want to be like, hey, you should check out my YouTube channel and then only have one video there, right? So I think what I did was for the first month, I made a YouTube video every day. So that in the first month, we had 30 videos immediately. Because remember, that was in the days where me and you were sharing a desk. We had a big desk and we were facing each other. And so I would turn around and wind pickups and you would be at your desk doing your work. And then I would like turn around and face her and like make a video.
It's a terrible idea.
It was a weird, that didn't last very long. I mean,
no. And then in the same house, I had an office in the bedroom one time.
Yep.
And I had an office in the guest room closet.
Yep.
For a little while.
Yep. What we have now is pretty sweet.
Yeah. I don't really want to give up having an office ever again.
Yeah. So that's what I had to do. That's what basically I had to dedicate myself to, okay, I'm going to make a video every day this month. And actually, to tell you the truth, I still do it periodically. I have a hard time sometimes creatively. Sometimes
at least once a year you do that. Maybe twice a year.
Well, I always do it when Cletus McFarland does it in May.
Well, then maybe you do it twice a year because I feel like you maybe.
I
Anyway,
do it. I also do it in the I do it when in the months when I know it's slow. So June and July, typically we make a lot of content because that's the way we promote what we do. And the J months always suck. January, June, and July.
Yep.
They always suck. Yep.
that was a little attitude. I was like, no, thank you.
And he just like chucked it at you.
Let's see. Oops, I'm in the wrong place. I'm trying to scroll back to the top and it's not there. Jose demand. Let me try that again. Jose Daniel Zamora Pete says, "Do you keep your pen boxes? I like the boxes of some, but they take too much space. Great comparison with the Lammies, by the way."
Oh, thank you. I typically don't keep boxes of anything.
Mm-mm.
It's just too much. I suppose if I had something, I mean, if I had the Monte Grappa Frankenstein, yeah, you'd have to keep that.
Well, I think the box is part of it.
The box is
Yeah.
part of the experience. Yeah, but I don't see a reason to. I use everything.
Yeah.
You know, I have no pedal boxes. I have no knife boxes. I always keep 2 or 3 guitar boxes because I don't know if I'm going to ship something. So I always keep that. But I mean,
we used to keep like phone boxes and computer boxes, and you never used them. So
No.
it's like, why do I keep this?
No. And I'm not a person to sell collectibles.
Yeah.
Right? Like if I was going to sell, I might still have my Mont Blanc boxes because those pens are really expensive. So I may, but I don't think so. I think I kept them for a while and I threw them away. I might still have the pen sleeves. I usually keep like the little pen sleeves, like all the Franklin Christophs come in those nice little gray sleeves. So I keep those, and so there's a drawer full of, some various stuff over there. But if it doesn't fit in that drawer, I don't keep it. I have 2 pen boxes right there. That Esterbrook that I just got has a really neat box.
Yeah.
And so
Did you make a video yet?
I made a video. Once the video is made, typically I get rid of it.
New Gun Guy says, "How do you like your Winkler?"
Dude, it is one of the best. It is my favorite fixed blade. I have some really cool fixed blades, but that's the one I carry all the time. It's not in my pocket right now, but it was today. Like I usually carry it.
Super chat from Trozinator. Hello, haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, Dylan and Leslie. I was wondering what fountain pen I should get my dad for his birthday. He writes daily to-do list to get his thoughts out on paper. Should I go all out or should I get him a more budget-friendly pen?
It depends on his level of fiddliness. If he likes fiddling around with that stuff, then yeah. I mean, but I'll tell you what you should get him. If you're going to get him something nice, get yourself something nice. Get your dad something nice. We just did a video on the Dylan and Leslie channel on, like if you're going to go all out, the Leonardo Memento Zero.
I don't even know what that is.
It's that white one with the rose gold swirls in it, Jonathan Brooks resin.
Ah, yeah.
That thing is amazing. And as far as fountain pen goes, it's $200. So it's not expensive, but it's expensive. It's nice enough that when the person gets the gift, they're going to be like, oh, dang, this is beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, this is a gift, but it's not $700. You know what I mean? And it comes with everything, so you don't need to worry about it. However, if he is not into that stuff and doesn't want to fiddle with it all the time, Then oh, you're in Canada too. Oh, that's what he's doing. He's looking out the window. Yeah. Yeah. After Brianna left today, he stood there for an hour. I was editing a video and he stood there for an hour.
Yeah, he's got his chin on.
Like got his chin on the window, still just looking out the window. A roller ball. A roller ball would be cool too.
Less maintenance also.
Less maintenance, really nice writing experience.
Yeah, I really love my pens, but if I had to care for them, I would not have them.
Yeah, because I do all the cleaning and all the changing of ink.
And making it work when it doesn't work. And
yeah.
I have a guy for that.
Yes.
I just tell him what I want.
And if you don't want to spend $1 bajillion, but you want to get something kind of cool, Retro 51 makes roller balls that are really neat. And they come in all kind of different themes and stuff. Like I have a P47 Mustang themed Retro 51. So then you could even like zone it in on one of his interests. And they're like $50 or $60 or something. And they come in a cool tube. And they've got, you know what I mean? They're kind of a neat little experience. They've got like a little, speaking of boxes that are cool, it got a little experience that goes with it. And they're like $50, $60. And that's something that he could write with every day, never have to Retro 51 rollerball. That's what I would do after talking it all out. But that's what I would do.
Good talk. Good talk.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially if they're not familiar with that stuff.
Jay Valente said, hey, Dylan, buy the Super C clamp for your land ski. Way easier to use and move.
Okay, I will. Thank you for that input. I was wondering about that.
Joe Healy said a belt sander is very easy and fast to ruin a good blade. Handwork, almost impossible to ruin a blade.
See, and that's what I wonder. And because I keep my stuff so sharp, I don't really need to do that. I don't need to remove a lot of material. Now, if I had axes, if I had chisels, if I had anything like that, different story.
Mr. Goat says, is there a modern day Ducati that you would own?
Any of them. All of them. D. all of the above. But if it was going to be by choice right now, if I could have any of them, it would be a Multistrada. Yep.
Jim Woodard said, Dylan, I got a new snake enclosure coming next week. Pro level stacked system. Looking forward to showing it during the next Patreon get together. Robert Plant, the Python, will love it.
So he lost a snake last week and it replaced one. Yeah. I think he did. I think he mentioned it on Patreon. Because Jim's on Patreon. Yeah, dude, I tell you, these urethane based enclosures with like the stackable ones, that's what we have. This one's not that. This one is press board. But my other two, dude, they're great, man. They're really nice. I like them. They hold heat really well. They're easy to clean. Yeah, they're cool. You got super chat stuck up there.
Oh, it's because I wasn't looking over there. I don't know what this is about. New Gun Guy said Wicked Edge looks like the best available. I haven't gotten one because it's above my budget.
I want a Wicked Edge, but I can't justify it. They're really expensive. Yeah, they're like $500. And I mean, I guess because I have so many knives and I have so many nice knives, I could justify it. But the bottom line is 99% of the time, everything's so sharp that I go grab the $15 strop from Amazon and go, and it's done. Like, you know.
And the next thing you know, you slice a finger.
Yeah. So I don't, this one probably needs a little work, and I carry this knife a lot. So.
Doc Siltonen just showed up.
Hey, Doc.
He must have had a fun night.
Yeah, he must have been doing some tooth stuff.
Maybe. That's not what I would say is a fun night, but I mean, I was hoping like he went to dinner or something more fun than he was.
Knowing him, he worked late.
Jose Daniel Zamora P said season 1 DTT was wild. Also, the RV and outdoor videos were really cool and some Leslie Easter eggs before becoming a regular cast member.
Yeah, because you didn't used to do it all the time.
I mean, we had a regular show when we had our house.
When we had our house. So I guess that's true.
I've been doing this a long time.
Oh, yeah.
It was never a secret, like
No.
who I was, because I was making a lot of content then too.
You were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was editing for a couple channels back then.
Yep.
Well, I
didn't
still
have
am.
time to
But
be in your videos because I had my own things to do.
yeah, that's true. You were probably making more content than me as far as frequency, like multiple times a day, like lots of stuff. And photography, like we were doing a lot of stills, like because she was selling makeup, so we were doing like a lot of stills and a lot of wacky lighting. And
Every day I get like Facebook memories, and I'm like, "Good Lord, I took a lot of pictures of myself.
yeah,
Like, this is ridiculous."
yeah.
Michael Davis, does it bother you to use a fountain pen left-handed, smearing, etc.?
No, in fact, I'm going to do a video about left-handed fountain pen use because I have zero problem. But there's some things that I do to make that happen, and I want to do a video about that.
He was doing something cooler. He was out watching a buddy play a live acoustic show.
Well, that's pretty cool. I'll give you a pass on that. If you're out actually doing something instead of watching YouTube about it, that's pretty cool.
Or working.
Yeah. Did you see that he's got guitars in a shop?
I did. I told him congratulations.
Yeah, pretty neato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
I taught him how to wind pickups.
You don't get credit for that.
I just think it's cool because he's him.
General Admissions says, what do you consider high mileage for a sport bike?
I think that it would matter more who you bought it from. I don't buy used motorcycles. I don't at all. And here's why. Because if something falls off, you die. And so I don't trust
Fiddlers?
Yes. And I don't trust people to mod their own stuff. I don't, I just don't. I have never bought a used motorcycle. Never. I've had 100 motorcycles. I've never bought a used motorcycle. I won't do it. So I don't, yeah. And actually, I don't trust the techs at the shop either. But the problem is, if you get something used, you don't know if a wheel bearing, like you can check that stuff, but I don't know. It's just when there's only two wheels, there's just so much more to worry about. And so I'm very, very particular about that. I would buy a bike from Seth. There's like two guys that I would buy used bikes from that I know. Seth and his dad probably. That I trust. But I wouldn't go on Craigslist and buy a used motorcycle. I wouldn't do it.
Joe Coach said, what about a Triumph Bonneville, Dylan?
I really would like a Triumph Bonneville. That's actually on my short list of things to own. I've never owned one. I've never owned a Triumph at all, actually. I've ridden a bunch of them, but I've never owned one. Yeah, I would definitely own one. That's definitely on my short list, actually. I've watched all the videos and learned all the things. Bonneville T120, whatever the big one is, it's with the 1200 motor.
General Admission said the knife I want is a Bob Kramer chef knife.
Dude, same. We were just talking about Bob Kramer.
I was just thinking that, but I don't remember what we were
Bob
talking
Kramer,
about.
because of accessibility problem. He was getting sued by somebody.
Oh, was that who? Yeah.
Yeah. What was the deal with that? Do you remember?
It was website accessibility. A lot of small businesses are getting attacked by lawyers in New York, all over the country.
Yeah. They're being targeted for having accessible websites.
This was allegedly a woman tried to buy a knife a couple times and couldn't buy a knife. And even when I was telling you about it, I was like, I want to know, did she buy a knife? Like, because she probably didn't. Did she really need a $30,000 knife that bad? Why wouldn't she just call the dude? Like,
right.
maybe not.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Are they 30,000?
I don't, there were a lot. I feel like I looked. I mean, I'm probably exaggerating, but I was like, that is ridiculous.
Yeah. Some of them are nuts. Maybe 5,000, not 30,000. You're going to go look now. Yeah. But yes, I would love to have a Bob Kramer, even a Bob Kramer, like one of the ones, like one of the production ones, like not a full custom. I would still like to have a Bob Kramer. I actually almost bought one a few weeks ago, but I think I went to buy it and it was out of stock. They had like a sale at knifecenter.com, which is where I buy a lot of stuff. I really want a Half Face Blades kitchen knife too, so I've been checking their drops.
Joe Healy said, "What are you drinking tonight, Dylan?" I've got Buffalo Trace on the rocks.
Oh man, that would be great. This is some Jefferson Reserve. I actually finished it up tonight. It was one of those. She's like, "Dang, that was a stiff pour," and I'm like, "Well, it's one of those things where like, it's at the end of the bottle, and you like pour your two fingers, and then you're like, well, there's not enough for another one, so you like put it in there, and then you're like, oh well, I guess that was more than I thought." So it was one of those. It's one of those nights. That's okay.
I don't know what I saw because now everything is like behind a paywall. Like you have to be a member of the auction membership to see the auction.
Oh, so maybe he's changed his model of how he's selling this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, Bob Kramer is legit.
Doc Siltonen said, "You absolutely get credit for that. I would have never tried it on my own."
Thanks, Doc.
Whatever. Jim Woodard said, "This one is coming from a breeder in DE, Delaware."
Yep.
It's been a long time. They have a channel and all that crap. Anyway, they're selling it to upgrade so I can add yet another python or more. He said, "And thank you. Yes, Ghost passed away. Very sad. The new snake is much more curious and is all over the enclosure all night. Not the typical lazy ball python. Lots of fun to watch."
So it's funny. They all have different personalities, right?
For
so
sure.
Wyland in here, you really never see him unless you go and take him out.
Which he's the nicest one.
Yes.
to
When you
handle.
take him out,
Yeah.
he's amazing. He's like super chill. Chester is pretty sociable too. Like he's really timid when you first take him out. Like he'll stay in his ball, and then he'll in 5 or 10 minutes he'll relax and be chill.
Pretty reclusive in
But
the enclosure.
pretty reclusive. But then Hannibal, which is the one below him, that's Brianna's snake. As soon as the light turns off, he's all over the place and like banging up against the glass and trying to get out and stretched across and upside down, and he's all over the place. So yeah, they have
He
all.
doesn't like you.
He hates me. He's bitten me a few times. And he strikes at me every time I go in there. Even to fill his water and stuff. He does not like me. But this one, he's really cool. He's neat.
Joe Coach said most major lenders won't loan on used sports bikes because they have either been modded, wrecked, or both.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I don't trust people on them.
Joe Healy said tonight was a 4-finger pour for me. It was a long day.
Yeah, that's what that was too. But it wasn't on purpose.
Um, Doc Silton has said, I thought Kramer knives were $1,000 per inch. They may be. I probably
Maybe they
totally
are.
made up that number.
Maybe they are. I don't know. I know that you can get, the production stuff that he's got his name on for, $300-400. So that's probably what I would end up with. But I've got a couple other kitchen knives that I want to get before that. So I really want a half face blades kitchen knife, but those are $600. They have one they have a couple of models that are more affordable that I would like and that you would like because they're like a shorter petty knife, like a utility. But the problem is that
I mean, how many knives do you need?
he does them in drops.
I have all the knives I need.
Yeah, because what do you use? You use the short Japanese petty.
Yep. And the 2 Bradfords.
And you use the 2 Bradfords mostly.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Yep. I use all of them, but it's because I can, not because I need to.
I mean, I could too. They're right there, but I don't have any use for most of them.
Yeah.
So I sure don't need more.
And we have a whole steak knife set and we don't even eat steak.
We've never used that knife set. We should tell them next time they come over, like, we bought this just for you.
Yeah.
And well, that's your fault. We went the whole season and you haven't fired up that grill one time.
I've not taken the cover off it since we moved here.
I know. Anyway.
Maybe we should do that. Yeah.
Maybe that's what we do next time they want to come up.
Good idea. Because he loves the way I cook steaks.
Yeah. But that would be planning.
Yep.
A little more in it. Well, I guess we usually plan anyway.
Yeah. I can cook a steak. I just don't eat it. We're talking about our kids, our son and daughter-in-law. When they come up to eat, I'll cook them meat, even though I don't eat it.
All right. Jose Daniel Zamora P says, what's the best part of living in an RV and what was the worst? What are the best and worst but funny afterwards memories from living in the RV?
The best part is just the exploring all the time.
Yeah. I would say the travel and the simplicity.
Yeah. I liked that.
Yeah.
And the fact that we had it down. I think I timed it, and I think we could be, hey, let's go. We could be gone, hooked up, pulling out in like 13 minutes.
Yeah, I think we made a video about it. Like pulling the slides in, the whole bit. Like,
yeah,
and
it
hooking
was
up
like
the
13
Jeep.
minutes.
Yeah.
And then pulling in was like 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so it's just super like the freedom, even if you don't use it like that, just the feeling of the freedom of that was really, really cool. Mm-hmm. The worst part was probably the uncertainty sometimes of the planning, because we had a hard time sometimes. Are we going to fit? Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Like,
well, and
it took away from this.
Planning in general got really stressful.
Yeah.
Because you had to plan. You had to plan routes because we were so big.
That's what I was going to say. The freedom of the spontaneity was awesome, but then what you're about to say kind of took that all away.
Right. Because you had to plan all the routes and look ahead. And I think we mentioned it. I don't know what we were talking about, why we would have mentioned it, but actually the exclusion that happens in RV parks is a thing. And it was actually really difficult because most retired traveling RV people are in big motorhomes. So then those spots are gone. Like in the van, we never have trouble. No. I could just go and show up somewhere and I don't think I'd ever be without a spot. Like,
yeah.
And we could drive it anywhere.
Our coach was 38 feet long. And it was 13 feet high. And we towed a Jeep Rubicon behind it. And so we were 60 feet long towing. And so planning for fuel,
Mm-hmm.
like you didn't fit in every gas station.
Yeah, because you can't back up when you're hooked up.
Yeah, you can't back up when you have a Jeep behind you. So planning for every gas station, making sure that we had a place that we could fit and have 50 amp service so that we could run our air conditioners and do all the stuff we needed to do. Making sure that we had internet connection because of your work.
We had to work, yeah.
All those things were by the time we got done on the road, it got very expensive and it got very difficult. So that's why we came off the road. Now we have a B-class motorhome, which is a van. And like she said, it parks in a regular parking space and we can go 3 to 5 days without plugging into anything and park anywhere and drive anywhere and do anything we want now.
Yep. I don't know.
I don't have any regrets about it.
Do we have any horror stories? I don't feel like we really do. I mean, we had some sketch places we stayed.
Yep.
We saw a lot of sketchy people.
Yep.
We had some mishaps with cleaning things early on.
Yep.
And by we, I mean you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Pretty easy. I mean, it wasn't. And it just got more and more expensive. COVID was amazing because
The expensive part we were willing
to
to deal
pay.
with,
Yeah.
but the lack of the frustration of, I mean, I would literally come to you like, okay, I've tried everything I can try. It's your turn. Like I cannot find.
And we have nowhere to go next week.
Yeah.
And
I just do not function well with that kind of
type
stress.
of pressure. Yeah. And I think that's what really ended it for us. Is not ended it, but that's what made us decide to stop. But at the same time, we decided to get a van so that we didn't really have to stop.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's awesome. I love that thing.
Doc Siltonen said, ever check out Rapid River Knife Works? They're from Michigan.
I did after, maybe you told me about it before, and yes, I did.
Curtis Chavez says, sketchy people, you must have been in New Mexico. No, I'm quite sure we were probably still in the South somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Pretty sure.
Alabama. Florida.
I mean, Tennessee is the first thing that comes to mind for me.
Oh, Tennessee.
West Virginia was terrifying, though.
West Virginia was bad. Yeah.
That place was terrifying. I was like, it's beautiful. The land is beautiful there. But whatever stereotypical backwoods West Virginia river stories you've heard, they're real.
Oh, yeah.
It was scary.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
And I'm not from a nice place. Like, I've seen all of that before.
Yeah.
You know, like, it wasn't poverty. It was very strange.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't get into this a whole lot, but there's been a couple of places in the South where I'm like, I'm too brown to be here. We have to go.
That was Alabama.
That was Alabama for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel like we got
there was a place in Tennessee.
run out of, yeah.
Yeah, there was a place in Tennessee where we're like, we shouldn't be here right now because I am too brown. And then there was a place in Alabama where same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And what's funny is I've lived a lot of places all over the country and I've never felt like that except for 2 times. Those 2 times. Yep.
Let's see. So this is funny. Mr. Goat asks, is there a gateway vegetable? I need to eat more of them, but I'm afraid. And the first person says mashed taters. That's their vegetable recommendation. And then the next recommendation from Steve Rezer is hops is a good start for veggies.
Hops.
Love it.
That makes sense. I mean,
That's
yeah.
funny. Doc Silton said, but Bob Denver made West Virginia sound so nice.
Oh, no.
We must not have went to that part.
West Virginia was the most serious about Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah.
We've been a lot of places.
Yeah, almost every state in the South has Bigfoot something.
Yes,
But
and we've gone to all of them.
yeah.
But in West Virginia was the guy that worked there trying to legitimize everything. Because you're looking through these books of like these binders of like sightings and stuff like people have written down literally in handwriting on notepaper, like documenting their sightings. And the guy that works there is like, oh yeah, I know that guy. His name's Bob. And like, he came in here and yo, this really happened on, and like literally trying to legitimize it. And I'm like, okay, dude.
Curtis Chavez says, I can't have any nice kitchen knives. Too many people in my house used my knives for pry bars, but no one fesses up when I'm on the war path looking for whom messed them up. Yeah. I mean, I get rules. That's probably why I don't touch half the knives, because I'm scared that I'm going to mess something up. And then we still have like solid utility big chef's knife for when I'm like, this is going to be hard to cut and I don't want to break any of the other knives, and I'll use that one.
Yeah.
Like watermelon.
Right. We have a watermelon knife. I don't know that I care as much anymore because I'll just get another one.
Yeah.
Like,
no, he super stressed me out because he was like, don't cut anything acidic. And I'm like, dude, like I like vegetables and tomatoes.
No, I don't care. I don't care. It's you use them for that. And when they tarnish, because I have like a lot of like my Japanese kitchen knives a lot of them are carbon steel and stuff, but that's what they're for, man. That's what they're for. It's whatever. Like I'm kind of
this now.
Well, but I've grown.
Ooh.
And I have so many that it doesn't matter.
Oh, wow.
Like
back to my earlier point. How many do you need?
That's also why I bought you the Bradfords, because AEBL is stainless and it like will do anything.
Those are really good.
Yeah,
I really like
they
those.
are really good.
That little paring knife is like perfect size, weight. That thing can do anything.
Yep, it's good.
Let's see. Then he's like, wait, John Denver. Hat Mike said Bob Denver, John Denver. Either way, he's full of shit.
No, it's true.
Anyway. So funny. Let's see. Tim Truetone says, since you're vegan, you should make a pickup called the Soy Boy. It would be like a hot rail single coil sized humbucker style. Well, a Soy Boy is not an engine, so we can't do that.
No.
We have a theme.
We have a theme. Everything's based off of power sports and motorsports. Yeah. Yep.
Did you just say power?
Power sports. Mopow, baby.
You can't say that. It's
I
trademarked.
can't say that because it's trademarked, huh?
By Donut Media, not what's
James.
his name? James, yeah.
Yeah.
I went down the whole rabbit hole, if y'all know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I had to watch the videos, and now I follow all the original people on their separate channels.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you support what they do? Like
I don't know. That dude's funny.
He is funny.
Let's see. Jose Daniel Zamora P said, my girlfriend was like that with my gifts, and I was like, please use them. If you lose them or break them, I'll buy you another one, but I hate that you don't use it.
Yeah, I want things to be used.
He didn't buy them for me, though.
No, I did. Well, okay. So, no, when I buy that stuff, I really do try. Okay, first of all, the blue knives.
Those are mine.
I bought those for you.
Yeah.
At Blade
I'll
Show
give you that.
2023.
Yep.
The Japanese stuff, though, I do buy, and even pocket knives, everything, I buy it with other people in mind, with you in mind. Like, I want you
How'd
to
you go from other people to me?
Because
How many other people?
Because you are the other people. I mean, Brianna, I guess, too. But
You're like other people. I mean, you.
No. It's just you and her really that live here. So, obviously. Yeah. So I try to make sure that everybody will get use out of them. I really care about that. Like, I want to be able to use stuff. Like, I want to be able to use everything that we have. There's another gun over there that I'm thinking about selling because I'd never shoot it. Like, I want to use stuff. And I don't want safe queens, and I don't want...
What does that mean?
Like in the pocket knife world, if you could buy one of these super fancy knives that you gotta like wear white gloves, otherwise you fingerprint it, and it only goes in. It's just for collecting, and I don't care about that stuff. I want to use it.
Don't ever let me touch something like that.
Heck no, I want to use it.
Fingerprints everywhere.
Yeah, I want to use it. And lotion prints.
That's what I meant, really.
And hair prints.
Prints?
I cleaned the headrest on your side of the car today.
What does hair prints mean?
Like whatever hair product you use, your bun or something must have left something on the headrest in the Audi.
That's really gross.
Oh, it is, yeah. What? It's gone now. I cleaned it up. It's fine. It only takes a second to clean it. But I was like...
I wonder what it was.
I don't know. It was white, though. It was like a...
It was dry shampoo.
Probably.
I love that
like,
stuff.
I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, it's not... you just clean it. It's no big deal. But I was like, oh, wow, her bun must hit the chair right here or the seat right here.
That is really strange.
Yeah. And then your elbow, wherever...
Oh, I know.
It's sparkly like your bronzer.
Yeah.
That did not come off very easy. That took a while.
I'm not going to stop.
I had to get serious with that little elbow zone.
I'm not going to stop you.
No, I don't care. I don't care. I'm just telling you, I think it's funny. I don't care. It's part of it. It's life. And I cleaned the shifter knob. That's what inspired the whole thing. Because I was looking at it the other day and I'm like, you can tell when a shifter knob or a steering wheel isn't clean. Like, it just has a certain look to it. You can just tell. Like,
I'll just trust you.
It does. And I'm like, I think this needs to be cleaned. Like, it's got hand buildup, over time on it. Because I usually, like on the back of the paddle shifters and like...
That's all you, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Everything, it will build up over time. And then like underneath, like where you grip the shifter, like it'll... And sure enough, man, I sprayed on a white cloth and I went... oh man, this is nasty. So I cleaned everything. Like, I got like super into it today and cleaned a bunch of stuff.
Doc Hilton just said hearse purse. Jose Daniel Zamora said, how is center punch related to power sports?
That's the only one that's not. That
was like the first one.
That and the 8-ball, because the 8-ball and the DAF, those three were pre that. Yeah, those are the earliest pickups that we made.
We used to have a whole logo for the center punch. I remember that.
I still have it. Actually, I found it the other day. Mm-hmm.
You should make something with that. I had
I should.
a sweatshirt and a beanie or something with that on it for a while.
It's popcorn 30.
Mm-mm.
Last night I couldn't feel my lips. I ate so much popcorn. Y'all, who bought us that? Tim? No, Sarge.
It was Sarge, yeah.
Sarge 978, who's probably not here, so maybe he'll watch this later. Bought us the Whirly Pop popcorn maker. We are wearing that thing out. We are using it a lot, and I love it. So, yeah.
He loves the popcorn. He doesn't love to clean it.
No, that's true.
That was a loud hint.
I get it. What else you got over there?
Nothing.
All right.
That Bigfoot must like banjo music, and that's why he's in West Virginia.
Makes sense. Well,
it's 9:50.
Yeah, we went a long time. Thanks, guys. This was fun. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Leslie sits down sometimes and she's like, I'm just so tired from the day. And I can tell she's like, hopefully she'll still enjoy doing this. And then we get like halfway through it and then you're laughing and
Yeah, and it's fine, but I'm
it's
ready
great.
to be done.
I'm ready
My head
to.
hurts. That light is so friggin' bright, and you left the fan on, so like my eyes hurt and
Oh, yeah.
all the things. I'm just
Okay.
a little whiny now, so it's probably time to go.
All right. People are going to think we fight all the time because of that.
Because of what?
Because you're whiny.
It happens.
What, you whiny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care.
We don't fight though. All right. Thanks. Video tomorrow. See you later.